I'll tell you this, the tree is taller this year than in previous years. We just felt like, given the size of this gym, the challenge is when we don't have this service, there's about 1,000 things in here involving preschool children and basketball practice and basketball games, all sorts of stuff. So it's got to be rolling. So we want to thank Jimmy Fowler for creating a new stand. And if y'all will help your children reach the tallest points, and we're all really children on the inside, so if anyone wants to decorate anyone, you are welcome to come up, especially and place it on the taller parts. If y'all can just talk amongst yourselves as we wait for just a second. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go out of order and just go ahead and do the announcements. We have a new newsletter today. Aaron Knight always does a great job compiling it, getting it all together. So I want to make sure that you get the newsletter. If you get the digital version on the email, it's there every time the email comes out. So make sure you get that. If you want a paper copy, make sure you grab one at the back. To 2019 people that are on committees, I'm starting something new this year that I've never done before, and that is meeting with all of you prior to the year coming to establish all the sorts of things that are coming in the year to come. Anything that's changing for existing people, any questions for people coming on the committees to say, hey, I said yes back in October. What is that thing? I don't even know what it is. And we will answer what it is and how it's connected to that. It's gone out in the email for you to be able to do it electronically in a survey, but there's a piece of paper, if you want a piece of paper in your hands, for you to fill out one of 4 dates, just one of 4 dates that you would like to attend the meeting. Make sure that you notice that in the back. Today starts the season of Advent, the season of preparation, building towards Christmas and the significance of that day. I'll tell you, we have a 5:30 service with these musicians in the sanctuary. We have a 7 p.m. service in the sanctuary with the 11 a.m. musicians. And there'll be a survey coming soon for y'all when we see how that's going to break down, since this is the first time that we've ever done that. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for the preparation that the children's choir has put in today. And we've got a special day for you where we're going to place elements of this season on our altar to set the tone for the season of Advent.
Good morning. This morning we would like for each family, each person in the congregation to come up and get a Christmas wine to put on the tree while we are singing our first song this morning.
only other announcement I'll tell you is that you can see I'm out of uniform from the classic checkered shirt, which is defined 2018 for me. This is the new uniform. This is the memorial golf shirt that I've wanted for about, I think, 18 months. I think it's been an 18-month journey to establish a logo, to get an order, to get that order back, and to be able to have it. Now, there's not just this. I'm going to put my family on display. They agreed to it. They are bound because I drive them everywhere. Come on up. Bring the sweatshirt. So this is a blue sweatshirt with memorial on it. This is a gray sweatshirt with memorial on it. This is heather red. I learned all sorts of colors as we were going through it. And then there's a pullover that's both gray and blue. If you ordered anything, it's on that back table. We did a very small order just to see what happens. And we wanted you to see it to know this is what it's going to look like. So you'll see me in this pretty much forever. This will be all over here. And pullovers and stuff like that. So if you have any questions about that, we'll have an order maybe 3 times. You can have a seat now. We'll have We'll probably open, there's this memorial store that's online, and it's very easy to order, and we will probably do that 3 times a year. We'll tell you when it's opening and when it's closing. They'll close the order out, they'll make an order, and then we'll have all that stuff will come in. So I'm very excited about that. We're grateful to the people who helped us do it.
There's a
Jeremiah 23:5-6. The days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will raise up for David a righteous branch, and he shall reign as king and deal wisely, and shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. In his day, Judah will be saved, and Israel will live in safety. And this is in the name by which he will be called. The Lord is his righteousness.
In ancient times, the cedar was revered as the tree of royalty. It also signified immortality and was used for purification. We place this cedar branch as a sign of Christ, who reigns as King forever, and whose coming in justice and righteousness will purify our hearts.
Isaiah 9:6-7. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in the land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. For a child has been born for us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders. And he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His authority shall grow continually, and there shall be endless peace for the throne of David and his kingdom. He will establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness, from this time onward and forevermore. Zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this.
Because the needles of pine and fir trees appear not to die each season, the ancients saw them as signs of things that last forever. Isaiah tells us that there will be no end to the reign of Messiah. Therefore, we hang these wreaths of evergreens shaped in a circle, which itself has no end, to signify the eternal reign of Jesus the Christ.
Isaiah 53:1-6. Who has believed what we have heard, and to whom has the honor of the Lord been revealed? For he grew up before him like a young plant, and like a root out of dry ground. He had no form or majesty that we should look at him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by others, a man of suffering and acquainted with infirmity. And as one from whom others hide their faces, he was despised, and we held him of no account. Surely he has borne our infirmities and carried our diseases, yet we accounted him stricken, struck down by God and afflicted. But he was wounded for our transgressions, crushed for our iniquities. Upon him was the punishment that made us whole, and by his bruises we are healed. All who like sheep have gone astray. We have all turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all.
For Christians, the Isaiah passage reflects the sufferings of Jesus, who saved us from our sins by his death on the cross and by his resurrection from the dead. In past times, holly and ivy were seen as signs of Christ's passion. Their prickly leaves suggested the crown of thorns, the red berries, the blood of the Savior, and the bitter bark, the drink offered to Jesus on the cross. As we place the holly and ivy, let us rejoice in the coming of Jesus, our Savior.
John 1:1-5 and 9-14. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him, not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all the people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. The true light, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who were born not of blood, or of the will of the flesh, or of the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory of the Father's only Son, full of grace and truth.
As we prepare for the coming of Jesus, the light of the world, we light the Christmas tree. During this Advent, wherever you see a lighted Christmas tree, let it call to mind the one who brings light to our darkness, healing to our brokenness, and peace to all who receive him. Please join me as we say the congregational prayer. Holy Lord, we come with joy to celebrate the birth of your Son, who rescued us from the darkness of sin by making the cross a tree of life and light. May this tree, great in splendor, remind us of the life-giving cross of Christ, that we may rejoice in the new life that shines in our hearts. We ask this through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and shield. Our heart is glad in him because we trust in his holy name. Let your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we move in Psalm 33, 23-22.
Something is coming.
We are waiting. We are eager.
It is more than presents.
It is more than Christ.
We open the book of hope and read the promise.
God will be with us.
Our hearts are glad. We trust God's holy name.
God's already love surrounds us.
Today we light the candle of hope. Our hope is in the Lord.
God's never-ending love surrounds us.
We struggle sometimes in the gym to have perfect symbols that give you this sense of what this season is about because of the space that we're in. In the sanctuary, we will do similar things and we'll place them permanently. There's upside to both things. You go in the sanctuary and you see that beauty and you're reminded constantly. If you come in here and you see it placed and not, you're reminded at the times when you're inside this world, outside this world. You're interacting with all sorts of things all over the place. And the symbolism is throughout Christianity. It's throughout the call of God to call people to God's people. Helps us say, oh, I had no idea why we did that. No idea why that was a symbol. And as you look around this season and you see those elements that we read about, you see the scripture passages they are tied to. It's intended to set the tone for this entire season. One of preparation, one of watching, one of waiting. Let us pray. Gracious and loving God, we thank you for this wonderful space. In all of its transitions, from worship to preschool, to youth Sunday night, to children's Sunday night, to basketball practice, to basketball games, in every element, people are gathering in your church, in your name. Bless this space this season, that those who gather in it may understand the amazing power of your presence amongst us in the incarnation of your Son. Inspire us this morning, Lord, as we pray the prayer your Son taught us to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, prophets. Prophets thousands of years ago, suggesting that someone was coming with such significance that the humans who had struggled to understand what God wanted would see it live and in person. The image I use every Advent is tech support. Of any time you've ever called someone and you desperately needed their help over the phone, and you've gone through a phone tree to even reach them, then tried to communicate your trouble to them, then trying to interpret what they're saying back to you, and hopefully what they're saying back to you is tied to the actual machine that you are actually working with, and not last year's machine or 10 years ago's machine. Instead, that person walking right in the door. What can I do to help you? What can I do to show you what this thing is built to do, what it's designed to do, what you can do with it? Jesus coming to the earth is God attempting to help human beings see it live and in person. And long before Jesus did, there were prophets saying someone was going to come. Now, people of the Jewish faith continue to think that someone is coming. People of the Christian faith think that what we read in the Gospels is the answer to what was read in the painting of the Green liturgy. A lot of that prophecy was positive. A lot of that prophecy had a great deal of hope. The prophet that we read today is struggling. And I think it's excellent to hold those two things in tension in this season, because there are times in this season in which we have great hope for whatever reason. And there are times in this season in which we have great fear, great pain, great loss. And holding those two in tension and knowing they are equally part of what God has designed in the human experience helps us figure that we are valid participants doing something special. So our opening word today, we have a chance in the bulletin every Sunday to write in blanks is stoplights. Y'all like stoplights? Love stoplights, right? It seems like they have been timed by someone well-trained in math to stop you right when I was getting there. I was going to be the next one and I was going to go through. Let's look at the picture. This is Wade Hampton Boulevard in St. Mark. This is a busy one. It's tough from this angle. It's tough to come from the St. Mark side. Either from the right side or the left side where the dry cleaners is. In each instance, I guess this is when you know you have a good stoplight. You feel like you're waiting too long. I wait too long for this thing to turn over. Unless you're on the other side and you go, man, I wait too long for this thing to turn over. And if there's a turn signal and somebody doesn't take advantage of it, you wait again. We are waiting a whole nother cycle. You still may not make it. So there's mutual agreement of everyone's time and safety by those simple stoplights. We all agree that we're going to do what we need to do in order for everyone to be safe and for us to get where we're going, unless there's a special circumstance and I really kind of need to go. I really kind of need to push the boundary. I really kind of need to go, even though my time is up, because really, I'm kind of busy and I kind of got to get somewhere. Right? Are you more inclined to follow that law when you kind of lay back? Are you less inclined to follow it when you're in a serious hurry? Let's look at the next one. This is even more frightening and frustrating than a working stoplight is no stop. The power is out because someone unfortunately hit a transformer for whatever reason. There is no bike. This is a situation in which you do whatever you think is right. Humanity. Y'all just do whatever you think is right. Do what you think is fair. Travelers of Wade Hampton going straight to people who are trying to turn left on Wade Hampton. Whatever you think is fair. Now, it's happened before. And I thought, it's probably fair for this person to go. You gotta get 6 lanes of people to think it's fair. 6 lanes of people to all agree, northbound and southbound, that, these St. Mark people, they got to get somewhere too, right? That lawlessness, that selfishness, that pain over what we're going to do in this specific moment is when you wish for someone you would never wish for or wait into in your life, which is what? State trooper. If only there was a state trooper. This is the only time that you ever say that. You come over that hill and they are at the bottom of the hill and they're ready. They got the gun out and say, I never speed. Why are you here? But in this moment, you're thinking, we need the law. We need respect. We need people to do something, right? Especially if you're turning left on St. Mark. That frustration, that fear of there is no law, and people are just doing whatever they want and are hurting each other, is the message that is evident in a book that not many people want to pronounce. Very tiny book by chapter, very large book by name and strange, Habakkuk. Y'all ever break out Habakkuk? You ever preparing for a wedding and you say, what scripture do y'all want? Habakkuk. What would you like to do to honor this person's life? Habakkuk. No, never. But we're going to read it today and you're going to see the significance of why we need to read it. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 2. How long, Lord, must I call for help, but you do not listen? Or cry out to you violence, but you do not save? Why do you make me look at injustice? Why do you tolerate wrongdoing? Destruction and violence are before me. Their strife and conflict abounds. Therefore, the law is paralyzed, and justice never prevails. The wicked hem in the righteous, so that justice is perverted. This is a prophet speaking on the part of the people in a very frustrated way to God, and what he's saying is the next way. You've got to do something. Why are you sitting back? Why are you allowing this to happen? Have you ever said these words? Have you said them in sadness? Have you said them in anger? Yes. Have you said them about a friend, about a family member, about a loved one, about a classmate, whomever it is? You should do something about these people who are hurting people and doing whatever they want. He says, why am I having to see violence? Why am I having to see injustice? Why am I having to see wrongdoing? He says the law, and the law is extensive, is that paralyzed, meaningless. God, I want you to go enforce it. This is when you've got to ask yourselves if you've ever hoped for justice for a sibling from a parent, or hoped for justice for a coworker from a boss, or hope for justice on the road with a state trooper. Oh man, I hope it comes over that hill. I hope that state trooper's there. Smokes. If you ever wanted that justice, I want justice so bad. And see, we've been talking about fairness justice for a while. And I'm telling you, not this justice. This is the justice we're talking about today. I want somebody to be in trouble, and I want this to be fixed. And guess what? You know who I want justice for? That person. We have 20/20 vision for the faults of other people and the justice that we want for them. He says the law is meaningless. Go enforce it. And then God answers in verse 5. Look at the nations and watch and be utterly amazed. For I am going to do something in your days that you would not believe, even if you were told. I am raising up the Babylonians, that ruthless and impetuous people, who sweep across the whole earth to seize dwellings not their own. They are a feared and dreaded people, themselves and promote their own honor. That's not good. You know what he's talking about? The Babylonians, who were the massive nation, the massive army, who were coming. He says they're feared and dreaded. In your next race, sit back and watch. Not sit back and watch and I'll fix it. Sit back and watch because this nation is coming. And they will not be stopped. And you're going to be in serious, serious trouble. He says, you have mistreated one another. You have misbehaved. You, nation of Israel, you have sought your own gain. And a freight train is now coming for you. He says, Habakkuk, when you noted that no one is enforcing the law, especially me, God, I'm telling you, you never enforced it. You never lived by it. You brought injustice. You harmed people. You sought your own gain. He says, in fact, the trouble that's happening with the nation of Israel happened because the leaders did it. When the people got to the promised land, something that was promised to them by God, and God helped them get all the way there, they went through a couple stages of just letting off the gas, of losing their intensity, of losing their focus. They said, the other nations around us have a king. We want a king. Kings aren't good news. Kings seek their own gain. Kings send your sons off to war. Kings take your money and build lavish palaces. No, but they have a king. People are given a king time and time again. Those kings make horrific mistakes. The leaders of Israel make horrific mistakes. The people of Israel mistreat one another and mistreat the foreigner in their land when God told them, remember when you were poor. Remember when you struggled. Remember when you had pain. And help these people. They did. Are we not all prone to it? Are we not all prone to getting to the spot where we feel a little comfortable, making all kinds of promises to hopefully get something from God and then going, nothing else happened. I don't think I put any more work in. I don't think I can do that. I think I kind of earned this on my own. He says, sit back and watch. But this is a strange part. I don't remember reading much like this in Scripture, chapter 2, verse 4. But, proceeds this, but, see, the enemy is puffed up. His desires are not upright. But the righteous person will live by his faithfulness. Indeed, wine betrays him. He is arrogant and never at rest, because he is greedy as the grave, and like death is never satisfied. He gathers to himself all nations and takes captives all peoples. He's describing the Babylonians who are coming like a freight train. He says the good news is they're not any more focused than you are. The good news is they're just as sideways as you are. The good news is they are way into whatever they are grabbing, or way into whatever they are drinking or eating or taking. They are not in my name either. They will not prosper either over time. Have you ever heard that phrase in that text? I've never heard it. Greedy as the grave. Of all the greed you've ever seen, you've never seen that greed. He says it comes for everyone, including them. He says they're arrogant, they're not focused, they're not hungry. Instead, they're simply greedy. He says, let your faithfulness carry you. Faithfulness in what? Faithfulness in losing an awful lot of stuff. Faithfulness in this nation coming in. Chapter 3, verse 17. Habakkuk answers. Though the fig tree does not bud and there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive crop fails and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in my God, my Savior. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread the heights. Can I go back one? How many bad things are in that paragraph? How many of those things are tied to home life? How many of those things are tied to work life? How many of those things are tied to church life? They all, in this moment, will go sideways. He says, in this moment where it's going sideways is when you're going to learn what faithfulness is. Those of you who've gone on mission trips locally, regionally, globally, whatever it may be, experts in the field say that you will not teach these people about faith. You're not going to tell them about your faith. You are going to learn what faith is. You're going to learn what the promise is from these people that are fighting for every inch in life. He says, Habakkuk says, in the midst of that struggle, I will rejoice in the Lord. So that's your next one. Yet I will. My business, my home, my faith community will suffer. Every aspect of life will suffer. And see, we've been through that. We've been through one of them suffering. Home, business, church. We've been through two of them suffering, maybe. It's pretty rare that we go through three of them, all suffering simultaneously. And it's in those moments that we say, I don't even know if I should believe this stuff. If this stuff will pay off in an amazing way, what are we doing? I need there to be a payoff. But what the season of Advent does is we start to gather back, as we start to get ready for Christmas, we read texts in which people will struggle. Because that is the law of Christianity. He says, here I will. So your final question. What am I wishing for? Now, you can answer that question for Christmas, right? Unless your spouse is asking you and you have no idea. You can't give them any hope whatsoever. They're completely out on their own, in the cold, trying to get, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You know. we we got a pretty good sense through intelligence gathered by children in the house. You know what you want for Christmas, right? Children know what they want for Christmas. In this text, we've got to ask, what am I wishing for in terms of God's presence amongst us? What am I wishing for in terms of the struggle that has been people of God, the struggle that will be Jesus on earth, the struggle that He calls us to fight with everything that we have. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. If you'll stand as you're able for our affirmation. We affirm our faith in this worship service with a modern affirmation. You're welcome to read it with us, and you're welcome to sing with us. We believe in God the Father, infinite wisdom, power, and love, whose mercy is over all of us, and whose will is directed to His children's good. We believe in Jesus Christ, Son of God, and Son of man, the gift of the Father through faith and grace, the ground of our hope, and the promises of God fulfilled. We believe in the Holy Spirit as a divine presence in our lives, reminding us always of the truth of Christ, our inspiration and strength in times of joy and sorrow. We believe our faith should be apparent in our words of love and acts of service, that the kingdom of God may be a present reality here on earth. You may be seated. May the presence reality here on earth, not an expectation in heaven involving a present reality here on earth. It's now time for our offering. You can give as the plate goes by. You can give electronically with instructions in the bulletin. And if you are a guest, if you're a visitor to our church, it's not our expectation that you give immediately. You can rely on the generosity of our people.
Everlasting light, Son of righteousness.
Father's name